So welcome to a very long overdue new episode of the Diary Piece. So it's been absolutely hectic the last few months, and I've just not been getting out on the bank at all, unfortunately. But I'm at a brand new venue for this session, which I'll get onto shortly. But first, I just thought I'd give you a little recap of the last few months, really, just to let you know why you haven't seen me for a while, basically. So managed to get out on the bank. My last session was the 1st of December. I was lucky enough to slip the net under my target fish, a fish called Ivy, which I'd been after for getting on for 5 years. Pretty sure I lost it at the net maybe 2 years ago. I just did me around some staging in the margins and just slipped the hook, unfortunately. So it was nice to end the year on a flyer. And then since then, sort of the run up to Christmas and the couple of months afterwards, it's just been hectic. We had the new website which we were trying to launch in time for the shows. Me actually trying to get some design time in and design some new products. And obviously the run up to the shows have just been mental, really, trying to get everything planned and get the stand designed and everything ordered and all that sort of stuff. So it started off in February at Swallow, which was an experience to say the least. It's an absolutely huge show. Great to get out there and see the reaction to the brand out there. Probably wasn't the best of ideas to drive back on the Sunday. So we'd had 3 long days, you're on your feet all day, packed down on the Sunday. I think we were back in the van by about 7 o'clock. And then decided to drive straight home, so the 3 of us were absolutely shattered by the time we got back. So then, no sooner as we recovered from Zwalla, it was NAS, so we just got back from NAS on Sunday. It's now Thursday, or Wednesday, sorry, I'm losing track of days already. So yeah, NAS was absolute chaos. So we had a really good time at NAS again. The reaction that the brand had got. So we are a bit more known over here, obviously, because it's where we started, but yeah, there's some really nice comments from everyone we spoke to. So really nice to meet everyone who I spoke to at the show. It's always nice to put an Instagram profile to a face, basically. So yeah, so it's just been chaos. New website launched, and then I say I've just been trying to get some design time in. Managed to get some nice new products out and a few more in the pipeline, which we'll show you shortly. So that brings us sort of up to date, really. So this session, as I said before, brand new venue. We're up at Blackthorn Fishery, which is just sort of on the Shropshire Wales border. Not fished it before. Been meaning to come up for a little while, to be fair. So a good stock of fish in here. I think it's probably about 3.5 acres. Good stock of 20s and 30s, and it actually did its first 40 last year. So for the size, there's a really good head of fish in here. So I got down yesterday afternoon, and it's been really warm the last few days. So we've seemed to have gone from winter to summer in a matter of days, really. So it's been 16, 17 degrees yesterday and today. But nothing's happened so far. When I arrived yesterday, I've set up in peg 5, and just down to peg 4 to my left, I did see a fish right in the edge, sunning itself. The bank that I'm on, the sun rises straight in front of me, and this bank gets the sun first thing. So it was just off the reeds, obviously just sunning itself, enjoying the warm water. So I did debate putting a rod on it straight away, but decided against it. I thought I'd get some bait out and put a rod down there today. So I did that this morning, just before it got warm enough for them to be in there. And there's been nothing down there all day. I've been up and down checking it all day, but I've seen nothing, unfortunately. I was convinced to get back down there today, because it's been 16, 17 degrees again. But I say I've just lowered a little solid bag in the edge, just walked the rod back down the bank and just put on a separate bank stick just to the left of the swim. But as I say, I've been checking it and like every margin all day today and seeing nothing. So it's been pretty slow, to be honest. It went really cold last night. That would have been good to take on camera. Yeah, so it went really cold last night. Been roasting hot during the day and just flat calm, not a breath of wind, so it's not exactly the best of conditions. But I did think just with these few days of warm weather, it might have just started getting them moving around a bit, but I haven't had anything so far. I just flicked 2 solid bags out when I arrived last night for the night, and just one over about 50 baits just to the left of one of the islands. Changing things up a little bit for tonight. I'm going to fish 2 rods on solid bags. I flicked the marker out earlier, just into the sort of central bowl of the lake. After speaking to Charlie, who owns the place, he sort of said this time of year all the fish tend to sort of push out into the central bowl, and there's always bait there because that's where everyone tends to fish, and they do always tend to come from the middle bowl this time of year. So flicked the marker out just into that central bowl area. There's not much in the way of features at all, it's pretty much just flat, but give them a little bit of bait, not much at all, just some maggots and chops. Probably, I don't know, 8 spodfuls, so not a lot, but just enough to sort of hold them there if they do come by. So yeah, we'll just see what happens tonight. So most of the bites tend to have been coming sort of late afternoon by the sound of things, just on little bits and pieces, so I'll run you through how I'm fishing a bit later on. Yeah, but until then, I'll just see what happens. Right, so I'm not quite sure what's going on at the moment. So twice I've sat down to film this little section for the diary, and twice I've had what I initially thought was a take, both on this left hand rod. Been out no more than 10 minutes both times, and I've had like sort of stuttery take and lifted into thin air both times, so I don't really know what's going on. I don't know whether there's possibly a fish trailing line or something, but it seems a bit strange. So I'm fishing a drop off inline lead. The lead hasn't dropped off, no sign of the rig being tampered with, so can't quite explain it at the minute, but it's a bit of action anyway, get the heart racing. So hopefully it means there's fish in the area anyway, so just see what tonight brings. So I was in the middle of trying to explain what I've done with these 2 rods. So they're both back out into that central bowl area, both on solid bags. Just got a little short 3-inch hook link, and then hook bait wise it's just a little chop of Pacific tuna bottom bait and just a tiny little piece of pink NS1 just to give it a bit of buoyancy and just a bit of visual attraction as well. So I put about sort of 7 or 8 spoms out earlier on, and just before I got them back out I put another sort of 3 spoms of just maggots over the top of them just to get a bit of fresh attraction in the area. So it's been, other than these last sort of half hour or so, it's been dead all day, so I haven't seen a single fish at all. So we'll just have to see what tonight brings, but hopefully this little bit of action, whatever it was, is a sign of things to come anyway, and hopefully the next time you see me I'll have a carp on the bank. So I think I'll get the kettle on now and then just chill out for the night. Right, well, it's a real shame there's not daylight to show you this one, because it's an absolutely stunning fish. It's just a broken linear, in absolutely pristine condition. It feels like a block of ice. It's really cold now. This one's gone 23.10. I really didn't think I was going to get this one in, to be fair. I've been really lucky. At first I don't even think it knew it was hooked. Lifted into it, just sort of plodded for a little bit, and it absolutely flat rodded me. I just could not stop it. It's just one of those fights where you're scared to put your finger on the spool. It's burning my finger, but it's taken off and gone round the point to my right, and then I just feel the line grating as it's coming back round the point and through the reeds. But thankfully everything's held, and I've eventually managed to bundle it in the net. So it's an absolutely gorgeous fish. This was taken on the solid bag presentation that I showed you earlier. Just sort of half a little chop, a Pacific tuna bottom bait, tipped with a little pink NS1. Feels like he's going to kick. He's been a bit lively, just been in the sling while I've been getting the camera gear ready. But yeah, I'm absolutely over the moon. First fish for a new venue. And all credit to Charlie. I said, an absolutely gorgeous fish. Just quickly flip him round. There you go. So the side's just as nice. Hopefully there's another one to come. So I really would have loved to have this one in the daylight so I could show you them properly, but I'm not complaining. Alright, I'm going to slip him back, get the rod sorted, and see if we can nick another one. Catch up with you soon. Right, well, I can't quite believe what I'm about to show you. This session has just turned into one hell of a session. New PB in the sling. I'm not going to say too much, I'll just get it out in a second. But I'll just tell you a little bit about the fight. I said a completely different day today. We've had 2 days of sort of 16, 17 degrees. And then low pressure fronts just moved in this morning. Just started trickling with rain. Right-handed, I've had a sort of weird take. The bottom just 3 beeps on the right hand rod, which I recast last night after that fish. Dropped straight back down. I've looked out the bivvy and the line has just dropped completely slack. I've lifted into it exactly the same as last night. Tearing line, took me straight round the point. So again, I've come down to the swim to my left, managed to turn it around the point again, line sort of grating around the reeds, turned it into open water. Same thing again, just tore off like a steam train. It's gone round the island to my left, so I had to lift the line over all the trees and rushes to the right of me. I was almost stood on the point playing it to try and turn it from around the back of that island. Managed to get it back out into open water, and I literally just could not get its head up at all. I knew it was a decent fish. Didn't quite think it was going to be as big as it is, but yeah, absolutely over the moon. So I'm going to get it out now and I'll show you what we've got. And there she is, £40, 2 ounces. First UK 40, absolutely blown away with this. I said I'd resigned myself to a blank. I just didn't think it was going to happen. I've been trying, hadn't seen a single thing, and it just didn't feel like it was going to happen, to be fair. I say even last night when I had that first one, it just came out the blue. So I cannot believe it. It's the biggest fish in the lake. This fish first did 40, I think it was back end of last year, and yeah, I really didn't think I'd be putting it on the bank on my first session. Absolutely blown away. It's an absolute breeze block. I hope the video does it justice, but absolutely over the moon. Got Dean from Total Angling coming down shortly, just to rattle a few shots off for us, because I'm on my own on this session. Shame I didn't have anyone to share it with, but it's just one of those things you can't write it. Certainly not complaining. I said absolutely blown away. This one came on the same rod that I recast last night on the solid bag again. Same rod, same spot. First UK 40, absolutely blown away. Right, well, still in an absolute state of shock. My wrist is about to give way, so it won't be too long. Absolutely blown away with this one. First UK 40, £40, 2 ounces, new PB. Absolutely over the moon. Big thanks to Dean behind the camera for coming down to do some shots for us. Absolutely over the moon. Couldn't have asked for a better end to a session.
Yeah, boy!
Breeze block. Mega. I think it's too cold for a bucket, isn't it? Right, well, I really don't know what to say, to be fair. I'm still absolutely buzzing on cloud 9. I said I literally haven't even recast the rod. I've just been pacing up and down, not really knowing what to do with myself. I say just did not expect the session to end the way it has. I say it was looking like a blank, to be fair, up until that fish last night. I hadn't seen anything, and just nothing was really happening. So I consigned myself to a blank, to be fair. So to have ended my first 40 is just unbelievable. But I said, to be fair, I was really lucky to get both fish in. So I've never fished anywhere with a fish fight so hard. That one I had last night, as soon as I've lifted into it, it's just gone off like a steam train. Couldn't stop it. It's gone round the point to my right, and I've managed to run down to the swim to my left, give a load of side strain. I could feel a line sort of grating back to the reeds, and then luckily it's come out into open water. And once it was in open water, it calmed down then. But that one this morning, it's done exactly the same thing. It was off the same rod that I recast after having the fish last night, and the second I've lifted into it, it's done exactly the same thing. Flat rod with me gone round the point to my right. It's done the exact same thing again, run down to the swim to my left, managed to turn it. It's come back out into open water and then powered straight off behind an island to my left. So then I've sort of ran round a little bay to my right, got my rod over the tops of the trees, and I've practically been stood on the point trying to turn it. So I just could not get its head up at all. It just couldn't do anything with it. I knew it was a decent fish while I was playing it. Did not expect it to be that. So when it first went in the net, I thought it was going to be a PB, but I'd sort of put it round about 34, 35 maybe. It wasn't until I come to lift it that I realised just how big it was. So yeah, like I say, I'm absolutely over the moon. So huge thank you to Dean Watson from Total Angling to come down and do the shot. To say for anyone who does their own diary pieces, you'll appreciate it's so difficult to get all the shots and footage you want when you're on your own and just glued to a tripod basically. So we've got some cracking shots in the water and some footage. So huge thank you for coming down, mate. I really appreciate that. Obviously a huge thank you to Charlie as well. So definitely be back if I'm allowed. I say having the biggest in the lake on my first session. So I just can't write it, but it's just the way it goes sometimes. So I'm certainly not complaining. So I think I'll just we had some torrential rain before, which obviously kicked everything off. I texted Charlie this morning and sent him the photo of that fish last night, and he said, you know, you've got some low pressure coming in, and as soon as that rain started, the rod was away. Bit of a twitchy take really. I just had 3 beeps, looked out, and the line had just fallen completely slack. Just obviously just picked the lead up and moved straight towards me. But yeah, the rest is history. Managed to eventually get it in the net. So the rain stopped now. I'm just going to let the brolly dry out a little bit, and then yeah, be on my way I think. So I'm not even going to bother recasting. I couldn't care less what happens now, to be fair. So yeah, makes for a brilliant first diary piece of the year anyway. So I'm going to try and get myself out regularly from now on. So I've just been that manic the last few months. I've just not been getting any time on the bank at all, but it's one of those things, unless I put it in a diary, it doesn't tend to happen because something else will come up and then I'll sort of push the session back and then it just never ends up happening. So I'm going to try and get some dates in the diary. Probably travel around the country a little bit this year I think, and just fish some different places, keep the diary pieces fresh. So yeah, so until then, tight lines, and I'll see you soon.